Ram, it's a pleasure to welcome you. Fintech is, the buzzword now, and we are here at the AP Fintech Festival Challenge for startups. You were mentioning to me earlier that before you joined as the CTO of State Street, you had the opportunity to work with various other financial companies. Wanted to learn from you the landscape or fintech opportunities for big firms like yours, then we'll go and switch gears to the startup.
Yeah, so I think fintech as a space is a little bit convoluted. I think it captures, to some extent it's a buzzword with an umbrella word for capturing a lot of ideas. We're focused on banking, whether commercial, retail, insurance. So it's a wide spectrum of technologies which actually services very wide spectrum of clients into one little umbrella called fintech. So and there is in that wide spectrum, there is a lot of opportunity because fintech is, traditionally all the financial services are built on trust, and the trust was built using, in-person interaction. As in-person interaction is going away, the millennials and all are change their behaviors. So all the banks and people who are servicing them, they need to change their behavior and how they earn the trust when they cannot shake people's hand. And I think that's driving a lot of innovation on how to build that trust and the tools, whether it's for personal finance help or wealth management in the later stage of the career, or as simple as things and how do I pay my bills. So there's a lot of innovation is happening to help build that trust between financial institution and the consumer of the financial services.
You also worked at E-Trade in the early stages of the company, you said. So I remember on 101, I used to have a big hoarding sign.
Yeah.
I said, someday we'll all trade this way.
Yeah.
So we have come a long way from that space. I wanted to bring E-Trade into the conversation because my question is about startups. From that space to where we are now, obviously things have changed enormously. But the fundamentals, some of those are remain the same for any startup. So now that fintech space is opening up so much, relatively speaking, where do you think startups have the challenges, and how do they then, relate their solutions to customers like yours?
Yeah, glad you asked the E-Trade question. I think I joined E-Trade when they were very small firm back in '95, and there used to be a discount, walk-in, taking a pink slip to take an order. They transformed themselves into a digital financial services firm, and then the digital was not even a word at that point. But they online trading, internet trading, and then the idea was behind to simply bring things which was a very exclusive. You have to be very knowledgeable in what you were doing if you wanted to invest. If you want to walk in, it was overwhelming for retail, for anybody to walk into a discount broker dealer's office and saying, I want to open an account, right? Unless you were a savvy investor, you didn't know how to do it. E-Trade made that easier. I think that was the slogan, right? Everybody's going to trade, and they made it investing a democratic process, right? And accessible to common people and people who are not familiar with or were scared of. They made it easy, make it look too easy to saying I can be investor too.
That's right.
And created an opportunity for a common people. So I think that's to answer your question. I think that in terms of the fintech, I think what started way back in 20 years ago, the fintech has been growing. I think the word has become much more tangible now. The same innovation, making convenience and making financial services and accessible to a common man in a global sense, right? And all banks are trying and you can see HSBC's slogan, global bank, local markets. I don't know what the slogan is there, but everybody's trying to create that, and that's creating an opportunity for anybody who can bridge that gap and reduce the distance between the the actual service and how the common man access that service.
Coming to the purpose that you and I are here for the Vizag Fintech Festival, we have this roadshow and you are here as a panelist. We have some amazing startups here. I think particularly in India, and I'm sure there are other parts of the world, right policies are very important to energize and build this ecosystem to attract the right talent from around the world. What is your take on Andhra Pradesh government's initiative about fintech?
I think I personally very encouraged to see, and I'm very encouraged to see the energy the AP government is bringing and the focus they're putting in. I think that they are putting the right things in a place. Not everything may not be the perfect one, but directionally they have done the right things. Creating an incubation facility with the fintech tower and creating a mentoring program for younger kids at the college level, to creating a very focused education and targeted programs to get the talent ready for fintech firms to come and leverage the talent locally available. I think they're doing a lot of right things. It's going to take a little time for all to come together. And I think my personal goal is to help accelerate that growth through whether through personal involvement or helping people educate and what talent is available in Vizag and how to access what AP government is offering.
Sure. Okay, great. I think there's no question that there's a great opportunity in the state, and people like you who have been settled here, who are senior executives, I think you are the leaders who will not only guide and mentor, but actually invest your time and resources in the state to make it a successful opportunity. But thank you for giving your time and
thank you, and a pleasure talking to you.